are here with Krista, and Krista is a positive conception expert. She's here to talk to us a little bit about fertility and to let us know her journey, about her practice, the work she's doing with fertility clients, and she's also going to have some really good tips and advice to offer us as well. There's a lot of couples out there struggling with fertility these days, and Krista really has some awesome information, an awesome program to help these patients and couples along their journey. So welcome, Krista.
Hi, thank you for having me. This is great.
Thanks for being here. So why don't you just start to tell us a little bit how you got into fertility?
Yeah, so for myself, it really was through my own personal experience that this whole idea of positive conception kind of came to be. We have been trying to conceive, my husband and I, for 3 years, and when I was younger and decided we were going to get married and start a family, I was like, hey, see you later, birth control. Once we're married, we want to have kids, it's going to be so easy. Like, there's going to be no problems. Like, I'm in my 20s and my husband's young, and neither of us have any health concerns. And then when we started trying to conceive and we were getting to that year mark, and I was like, what? Like, I knew, it could take a year, and we were prepared for that. And I was like, this just seems odd. And we made that first doctor's appointment, and we were like, something's wrong. And the next month we conceived. And I was like, it was just stressed. It wasn't a big deal. So we were really excited. We were pregnant, and then 11 weeks hit, and I started getting spotting, and I was like, what's going on? This, I haven't had this all along. Went and found out that we were miscarrying, and it was devastating. It took us so long to just have that first pregnancy that we didn't really, expect to miscarry. We just thought it was all going to be good. I was like, hey, I can have the hospital paperwork, signed up with my midwife, I'm going to do all this stuff, right? And you just think it's all going to be good, and you don't even expect that to come. So after going through that and, having to have a DNC and just doing all these interventions, they were all like, oh, everything's fine, this just happens, it's really common, which isn't really what you want to hear during this thing. You're dealing with a lot of emotions during this time, but, they're like, your hormone levels are still high, you can probably conceive, in the next couple months. But the OB actually said to me, we'll see you in a couple months. 2 years later, and, we still haven't conceived at all. So we started, looking at investigations and that, but it all became about baby making. Like, it was like, hey, we're going to have this kid, and, I'm checking my cycles, and I'm taking my temperature, and I'm doing all of this stuff. And it just got so stressful, and, that's really what my life became about. And I just had this, epiphany one day where it's just like, this is not what I want to be doing. This isn't, how I want to live my life. I've totally lost myself. It's all about, making this baby. But, we're not a couple. I'm not myself. I'm not enjoying this anymore. And it was just like, enough's enough.
It just consumed you.
Yeah, totally. And, it was just like, we're going to stop doing this. Take the pressure off, get rid of the thermometers. It's like, I already understand what's, going on with my cycles, when things are regular, and that kind of thing. So I didn't need that extra pressure. So it was just, I'm going to go and get back to living my life and enjoying it. I'm still going to try and conceive and still be smart about what I'm doing and the decisions I'm making, and that kind of thing. But you know what? Just enjoy things again. So that's really, for me, where it's kind of come to. And, we're still trying to conceive. We're doing an IVF cycle right now. So, it did get to the point where we had to have intervention through a fertility clinic, which originally I didn't want to do, but that's just where my life takes me. And you know what? You just have to be okay with it. You just have to roll with the punches and kind of go through everything and just, not let it consume you and kind of take over your life. So,
yeah, I think a lot of fertility is that is just going along your journey, and that may be a short one, and it may be a long one, and it may be a bit of a struggle, but you're right, not losing yourself in amongst it. You're still a person, you still have a life, you still have a husband, you still have a family, and things that you enjoy and do, so keeping sight of that and not letting it take over everything.
Yeah, exactly, because it's really easily done, because it's just this all-encompassing idea, and it's such a want, especially after years of trying, right? It's just like people like, I just want that baby, and you see babies, and your friends are having babies, and all this kind of stuff, right? It's totally hard, and you don't realize either. You also feel really alone most of the time. Like the stats are, there's a lot of us going through 1 in 8 people typically go through fertility stuff, and it happens to you, and you're like, oh my God, why is it me? You don't realize that your neighbor, your sister, your coworker could all be going through it, because it's not discussed. It's not something that openly goes out to the world, which can be really hard, right? So that's what I really felt the need to share my story, to get it out there, just to let people know that, you're not the only one going through it. There's more of us, and, we can be a support network for each other, which is really important as well.
Yeah, it's just a very personal journey for you, and it's really hitting home, and that was my next question. So because you're going through this yourself, you're wanting to share your experience with others, and what are you wanting for others to take away from?
Yeah, so because I've been through it, like I had that epiphany, I kind of came out of that and totally changed my life, and it was remarkable. It was like within the week of doing that, the people that noticed and kind of perceived that change, they were like, wow, like you and your husband are, you guys seem like great, like you're enjoying things again, like you're smiling, like you're doing all of these things, and it was just, it was great to see that, and people were picking up on that, so clearly that shift had happened in my mind, so I really want to help other people get to that, right? So, just to really, get back to themselves, and, think about what you enjoyed, like, what have you been doing? A lot of people get so consumed, it's like, oh, I'm going to research this, and I'm going to look up this, and if you liked reading, read a book for fun. Like, it has nothing to do with fertility, it doesn't have to be research, it can just be, I'm going to read this really trashy beach novel, or whatever, something that's total fluff, just because you want to, like, not because it's going to, help you understand your hormone levels, or, what cervical mucus looks like, or whatever is going on, right? You can just get really wrapped up in it, where it's like every facet of your life has to somehow relate to it. It's like, can't go out because I'm not going to drink, so maybe the DD, because having that one drink might totally affect, and it's not, right? You don't have to go off the bender, but, give yourself the freedom to enjoy what you were enjoying before. So it's really,
so you've sort of come through that tunnel.
Yeah.
And you're on the other side now, and it sounds like in a really good place.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing if so many other couples could get there too, because it can really be consuming.
Yeah.
So if you were to offer some advice to our audience, if you had 3 key things that I'm sure you have tons, hundreds of suggestions, but if you could kind of pick a top 3 of what you might like to share with couples who are experiencing the frustration and the stress and the disappointment that fertility can often bring.
Yeah, so I think the first thing often is because we're feeling alone is to get some form of a support network would kind of be where I would start off with. So, whether you have a really close best friend, or maybe it's your sister, your mom, or someone who you feel comfortable enough to share, because often it's really personal. Sometimes family's not the greatest thing. They're really invested in that. It could be their niece or nephew or grandchild or things, and they can get wrapped up. But if you have a really close friend, that's a really great thing. And if you're not comfortable sharing with someone, that close or in your close vicinity, your circle, you can look for online support groups. There's a lot of them available. I know for myself, I thought it was something really important, so I've started one through Positive Conception, which is on Facebook. Just a really, a private group, a place that you can share your story. I'm sharing my story on there, so you guys can kind of go along that journey with me. I understand where you're coming from, so I feel like it's important for me to kind of, put those updates on there, and you guys to feel like it's a safe space to share your own experiences. So that would kind of be the first thing. The second thing is, yes, look at things to improve your fertility, but don't get caught up in it. Don't let it consume you. Think of it more so, not so much as, this is going to help me get pregnant, this is for my fertility. Think of it as for you. This is for your body. If it's an idea of, improving your sleep, or, maybe cutting things out of your diet, limiting alcohol or caffeine, or, eating more organic foods, even just looking at things in your everyday life, like maybe you're making some switches in cleaning products or your makeup or things like that you know where you're just cutting down things, but just know that it's good for you. Like, that's going to improve your health, regardless of whether it helps you to have a baby. That's just good for you.
I like that. I like that. Shifting the focus from baby making to healthy. I would just want to be healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And it's a great kind of point to kind of, just really focus everything back on you and kind of, taking that focus or the pressure off. Because as soon as you put it in the framework of this is to have a baby, this is to make a baby, that totally, puts the pressure on and the stress levels, and that's not going to help you. Stress is not your friend in the fertility world, right? So anything you can do to really cut that out is going to be great. And the last piece of advice probably would just be, kind of touched on it before, but just getting back to doing things you enjoy. So, pick a hobby that maybe you've set aside, kind of left out to the wind, haven't done. Like myself, I'm a big reader, so I've definitely picked up a few more novels just for fun reading. But even just with your partner, that go back, date, go on out and enjoy yourself. Like, don't have that interaction where it's, you're only connecting to make the baby. Just get back to being a couple as well. So just really getting back to living your life the way you did kind of before you got bogged down in the whole infertility world. So it's almost like backtracking. What was my life like before? What did I enjoy doing? And just making sure you're integrating those things back in is going to be really important. So that's going to be my main tips, I would say.
That sounds fantastic. I think that's wonderful advice. Is just letting go a little bit, of the fertility aspect, really focusing on you and your health and your happiness, and things will work from there.
Exactly.
So that sounds really great. So people can reach you on Facebook at Positive Conception.
Yes.
And that is a group.
Yeah, so there's an open page that you can just come, I share kind of inspirational quotes and just kind of different things that are coming up within the program or, tips and tricks, that kind of thing. But then I also have a private group that you can join, which I had mentioned, where it's kind of that safe space. You can share your story. That's where I'll be posting my own journey. So you can follow us on there. And then I'm also online as well. I have a website. It's kristageorge.ca. So that's just, there's blogs up there, but most of the time Facebook's going to be the best option. I'll share the blogs on there as well. So the best place to find me is on Facebook, just under Positive Conception.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any last little piece of advice or message that you'd like to give our audience before we sign off?
Maybe not a piece of advice, but just kind of a funny little thing that I had seen recently. Often the fertility journey is so plagued with, unexpected things or disappointments and all this kind of stuff. And I read a really funny kind of little meme the one day, and it was, when life throws you something really unexpected or difficult, just go, hey, plot twist, make a new plan and move forward. Just, go on with that. So just, you just have to be flexible. You have to kind of go on with things. Things aren't going to work out often how you want to. Like myself, ending up with going to a fertility clinic. Like, I didn't see myself there, but I'm okay with it now if that's, what I need to do. So just being flexible, rolling with the punches, just keep on going and just focus on that.
Focus on what your journey is and just staying true to yourself while on it.
Yeah, exactly. You're the only person that can live your journey. So, don't look at other people. You just have to do what's right for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It is certainly a personal one, so we appreciate you being so candid with it. And I think it really does encourage and help others to see that, they can also be where you're at. They don't have to be stuck in that stressed, frustrated, disappointed, helpless sort of state, and they can just be a person again. So,
exactly.
Thanks again. And
Thank you.
Again, you can find Krista at Positive Conception on Facebook. So check her out, follow her, and she'll keep you updated on her journey. So we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.